the LG G4 improves upon its predecessor by introducing an even brighter image thanks to second-generation MLA technology and a more powerful Alpha 11 AI processor, resulting in a much more cinematic picture with greater contrast and depth. It continues LG's now legendary gaming performance, and it's a truly beautiful TV Plus. LG now includes a stand with select models in select countries, but it's not without competition, with other non-traditional OLED screens being stronger in certain areas. When the G3 OLED launched, LG announced its new MLA technology along with it. This promised to improve brightness by providing greater control over the light emitted from each pixel it worked to treat, and in the G4 OLED, we've got the second generation of this technology. LG hasn't stated whether this means there are even more microscopic lenses in the layer over the OLED panel, but LG Display does claim the G4 is capable of hitting 3,000 nits brightness compared to the 2,000 nits of the G3. It replaces gaming features. Have been one of LG's strong suits for several years, and not just with its flagship GX series, but across the board in its CX and BX series too. These include 4K 120Hz support across all four HDMI 2.1 inputs, ALM and VRR, AMD FreeSync, NVIDIA G-Sync, and HIG. While you will find these features on the lower-end screens in LG's OLED range, the G4 offers the added benefit of its superior brightness and upgraded processor in the Alpha 11. The LG G4 in Filmmaker HDR mode measured a peak brightness of 1,489 nits on a 10% window, which is only a marginal increase over the LG G3, which recorded a figure of 1,449 nits. Picture modes change depending on the source content. In the particular 4K Ultra HD stream of the Olympics I was watching brought up ISF Expert both daytime and nighttime variants. Switching to the daytime setting increased brightness to help further combat reflections on the screen, and continued to handle motion with poise. Athletes running around the track remained clear and detailed throughout their races with no obvious motion blur in sight. LG has stuck with a 4.2 channel speaker setup for the G4 OLED, which, as far as TV speaker systems go, is one of the better ones you can find, as it can deliver more positional sound to your ears. There are several sound preset modes to choose from, but I predominantly cycled between standard, cinema, and AI. Sound Pro for my testing standard mode delivers decent dialogue, although I felt it didn't serve up much in the way of best, particularly when watching movies. The whole audio presentation sounded a little constrained too, with little in the way of width coming from the TV. I also had to turn the volume up a fair bit for it to function at its best. As with those that have come before it, the LG G4 OLED TV is impressively thin at just 1 inch, 2.54 centimeters, a very slight increase over the G3, and so will look sleek when wall-mounted. Wall mounting is in theory an easy feat, especially considering LG includes a specific slim wall mount in the box. I've read accounts online from customers in Australia saying this mount doesn't play nicely with standard wall stud distancing. So anyone buying the G4 OLED down under may need to invest in a third-party mount. Everything that made the LG G3 OLED a fantastic gaming TV has been carried over into the G4, and when coupled with its improved picture, makes for an even greater TV option for gamers. All four of the G4 OLED's HDMI 2.1 ports support 4K 120Hz and up to 144Hz for PC gaming, meaning owners of multiple next-gen games consoles will have no issue plugging their devices in without having to invest in HDMI splitters or the like. Do note that the HDMI 2 input is the one that supports EARC, and so you'll want to keep this clear if you're connecting a soundbar. Picture quality is the absolute highlight of the S95D thanks to its QT OLED panel and some clever AI picture enhancements. Textures are ultra-realistic. Never has an OLED TV looked more detailed. Colors are bold and dynamic, but have a natural look as well. Contrast is rich and shadows are as deep and detailed as you could hope for. There are some instances of black crush related to Samsung's use of a matte screen, but this can be rectified, and it doesn't take away from the S95D easily being one of the best OLED TVs ever produced. Samsung again utilizes a QD OLED panel to combine the rich contrast of OLED and the brightness of QLED in the S95D, but the headline feature is the new OLED glare-free screen. This is a combination of anti-reflection tech and a new matte screen designed to reduce reflections caused by distracting light sources, and it is seriously effective. The S95D comes with the new NQ4 AI Gen 2 processor with AI at the forefront of the TV's processing via 3 areas: AI picture, AI sound, and AI optimization. First viewing broadcast TV in both standard and high definition, the S95D did an effective job upscaling and smoothing out any rougher edges on the lower resolution shows. Even on the larger 65-inch screen I tested after cycling through the various picture presets, filmmaker mode was the most accurate overall. Movie was a close second and provided more brightness and a little more contrast for darker scenes. More on that in a bit, but it didn't quite have the same level of detail as filmmaker. The S95D has a Ford 2.2 speaker configuration with 70 dB power and Dolby Atmos support. It also features AI sound settings such as Adaptive Sound Pro and Active Voice Amplifier that balance audio levels within movies and TV shows, prioritizing dialogue without other elements. Samsung's Object Tracking. Sound Plus OTS. Plus is excellent at connecting the sound with the action on the screen. The S95D is simply one of the best-looking TVs on the market. It feels every bit as premium price thanks to several design elements that give it a flagship feel. Firstly, for those looking to wall-mount the One Connect box, which houses all connections such as HDMI, optical, digital, audio power, and more, is an external box that connects to the TV via one cable to keep things neat. And for those not wall-mounting, there's a place to stash the box on the back of the TV stand out of sight. The S95D carries many of the gaming features we look for, including 4K 120Hz and up to 144Hz refresh rate for PC gaming, LMVRR with AMD FreeSync Premium Pro support, and HIG. It also comes with 4 fully kitted out HDMI 2.1 ports for those with multiple consoles. The S95D handles graphically intense scenes with ease, as gaming feels fast, smooth, and free-flowing with no interruptions to the action when playing Battlefield 5. Quickly traversing environments while switching between targets was a breeze and always felt well handled. That came as no surprise, as when I measured the S95D's input lag using a Leo Bodnar 4K HDMI input lag tester. It gave a result of 8.9 ms, a stellar score under 15 ms. Is considered professional gaming levels. TCL's QM8 Class 4K TVs are the company's only mini LED TVs for 2023, but the company clearly wanted to offer something special for its flagship line. What's special about the new QM8 class sets is they are being offered in screen sizes. Up to a staggering 98 inches peak light output is also higher than earlier TCL mini LED TVs, a factor that in many ways lets them compete with similarly featured but higher cost models from the big name brands mini LED TVs. Regularly occupy slots in our list of the best 4K TVs, and not just because of their powerful brightness, but because top models also offer refined local dimming, a feature that, when well implemented, can deliver the deep and uniform blacks characteristic of the best OLED TVs. The QM8 class does a great job on the local dimming front, and its powerful picture processing upscales regular HD images in a clean manner while also excelling on motion handling and noise reduction. TCL's QM8 class QLED TVs feature a mini LED backlight with full array local dimming 1080 zones on the 65-inch model I tested. It supports the Dolby Vision IQ, HDR10 Plus, and HLG high dynamic range formats, and uses the company's APIQ Gen 3 processor for upscaling and other video processing functions. QM8 TVs also have an anti-glare screen coating to improve viewing conditions in bright rooms. Google TV is the smart TV interface of choice here, and the set has a built-in mic that can be enabled for hands-free voice commands. The 65-inch TCL QM8 class TV I reviewed delivered notably higher peak brightness with HDR sources than the 85-inch version I had performed a hands-on test of earlier this year. While that model managed to hit 1805 at archive nits in its default movie mode, peak brightness on the 65-incher measured an astonishing 2321 nits on a 10% white window test pattern. In the same picture mode, which is the most accurate of the TV's presets, a white pattern covering 100% of the TV's screen measured 721 nits, which is similarly impressive. A software update TCL issued in late June 2023 is presumably responsible for the QM8's performance boost, so make sure you have it downloaded. The QM8's built-in 2.1 speaker system is reasonably potent, providing 2x10 watts for the main speakers and 20 watts for a subwoofer mounted on the Tavi's rear, while the sound in the standard setting is somewhat on the too crisp side. Dialogue clarity is very good overall. For most of my viewing, I opted for the movie mode, which kicks up the bass a notch and also adds a bit of spaciousness to the sound. With its slim metal bezel and angled center-mounted stand, the TCL QM8 looks like an oversized computer monitor. The 98-inch version instead has feet mounted at either side of the screen for added support. It's a good look. And the sleek design extends to the TV's back, which extends out just 1.7 inches. The set stand is also height adjustable, which helps to make room for a sound bar. The QM8's native 120Hz panel and support for 4K 120Hz input on 2 of its HDMI ports. Up to 144Hz on HDMI input 1 makes it a solid option for gaming. FreeSync Premium Pro is also supported in a game accelerator feature. It allows for up to 240Hz VRR gaming at 1080p resolution. As for cloud-based gaming, Google's subscription-based Stadia service bit the dust in early 2023 after a 3-year run, so there currently isn't a gaming option with native support in the Google TV ecosystem. You can find the NVIDIA GeForce Now app in the Google Play Store, however, which presents a solid alternative.